If courts cannot enforce rulings, checks and balances collapse. And that is the real crisis here. Trump is betting nothing will stop him. And you know what? I think he's probably right, because nothing has stopped him for years. When we talk about the framers of the Constitution establishing checks and balances, we also acknowledge they never thought that the American people would vote in a charlatan like Trump who would flout every norm, law, and regulation. Plato knew it. Plato was worried about democracy, which he believed ultimately would lead to the most ignorant and uninformed buffoons, my word buffoon, not his, ignorant, uninformed buffoons electing a president, and then that president would be a fiasco. Plato predicted it a long time ago. Framers of the Constitution didn't think the American people would ever do it. Well, they have. And now what we are up against, as we saw in term number one, and we are seeing now, is that the constitutional checks and balances, the systems that we have in place, even the judiciary seems unsuited in terms of really having the teeth to make Trump do what they declare and what should be done. So what is next? You really can't blame Trump, because if you get away with 9 things, wouldn't you also try to get away with a 10th? It's also, finally, really important to understand that Trump is really the kind of final manifestation of the direction that things started going since the civil rights era. I write about that specifically in my book, The Echo Machine, which will be out in a week. We are down to the final 7 days before the book is out. I worked very hard on this book. I think it's critical to understand how we got to where we are, and that's part of what the book does. I would love for you to order it, available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, any local bookstore can get it for you. The latest is that there are 1,100 signed copies spoken for at Brookline Booksmith. They're having me sign 200 more. Those final 200 signed copies you can claim at davidpakman.com/booksmith.